Alright, so there's a little bit of Mortal Kombat information that has dropped. It's nothing major just yet, it's no leaks, it's nothing like that. It's actually job listings, and I thought they were a little bit interesting just because it kind of gives you the hope that there's going to be a new NRS game sometime in the near future. So a guy called Mauro NL on Twitter basically posted them up, so I'll read them out to you and then I'll give you my thoughts. So he says NetherRealm is recruiting for the next Mortal Kombat and Injustice games. Its core tech rendering is moving to next gen development on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. It's also now based on Unreal Engine 4. MK11 was based on Unreal Engine 3, which I thought was weird because I thought all of these games on PlayStation 4 were basically on Unreal Engine 4. I did not know that MK11 was on 3, but I'm not going to pretend to know that like I understand the tech or anything that goes into Unreal Engine. If it looks good, it looks good. It's whatever to me. It's not a big deal. That is interesting at the very least that they're going into the PlayStation 5 era and they're not using Unreal Engine 5, but as long as it looks like a PlayStation 5 title, I think everyone's going to be happy. At least I know I will. He goes on to say NetherRealm is looking for a video game software engineer to work on core technology for the Mortal Kombat franchise. As a software engineer in the core tech group, you will help us further extend and innovate key technology for our Unreal 4 based engine. You will utilize and extend your experience with a wide variety of engine tech, including memory management, animation, rendering, build tools, and more. The software engineer should have a passion for constantly exploring and mastering new areas of a video game engine. Tasks will range from graphics and animation, work toolset, and development and parallelism. That's obviously a job listing from NRS. It's looking like they're looking for someone to start on the next generation of Mortal Kombat, which is never a bad thing. I still hold out hope that there's going to be a Mortal Kombat game that I don't rage at, but maybe that's wishful thinking, but that is still interesting. It goes on to say NetherRealm, a division of WB Games, seeks a senior advanced software engineer graphics to work closely with the core tech rendering team on the next generation console graphics vision for Mortal Kombat and Injustice. As a senior advanced graphics engineer, you will work closely with the lead engineer and the rest of your peers to develop state-of-the-art graphics technology for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Your domain will span the entire rendering pipeline and your responsibilities will include optimization, design, and implementation of pivotal new graphics and technology. It's a job list, I think it's the same job listing, and it looks like they're focusing on really bringing Mortal Kombat to the next level in terms of it being on the next generation consoles, which again is nice. I mean, Mortal Kombat 11 already looks like probably the best looking fighting game out there, I would say. I don't know if anything beats it. I mean, personally, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 is my favorite looking fighting game, but I am biased towards cel shading. But objectively, you can't really like hate on Mortal Kombat's graphics. Its presentation, its aesthetics, the way they presented the game to you, it does look good. And especially the blood effects. The blood effects in Mortal Kombat are brilliant. I mean, Mortal Kombat has other problems that don't relate to its graphics. It then goes on to say they are also looking to update their animation system and are trying to set the bar for high-end console character animation. MK11 was already a big step up from previous MK animation. Now, in terms of face animation, the way characters move in story mode, the way they look in cinematics or cutscenes or whatever you want to call them, yes, Mortal Kombat looks absolutely fantastic. And even in the gameplay, there are some animations that are really cool, but Mortal Kombat has always had this stiffness problem. I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. It's basically riddled the franchise for ages, and whilst a lot of animations in the game do look really cool in game, when you do down 3s, down 1s, down 4s, even some down 2s, it does look a bit goofy. So hopefully if they're stepping up the animation, it can be a bit more of a smooth, seamless experience where it doesn't feel like sometimes you're walking through mud or sometimes the animations are stuck in like the 90s, because some animations for Mortal Kombat are really janky to the point where people laugh at it, and it's the worst thing when you're very passionate about a fighting game and someone's sitting there laughing in your face about the game that you like, and you can't really defend it because you know that the animations do look a bit janky. So hopefully he's not just referencing the animations that are in the cutscenes, but also the animations in the gameplay. Goes on to say NetherRealm Studios, a division of WB Games, is looking for an exceptionally skilled senior technical animator to help set the bar for high-end console character animation. The ideal candidate will have strong foundational animation skills and experience developing animation pipelines, tools, and rigs, all the way from motion capture to in-game implementation, developing tools, defining best practices, character rigs, character skinning, and working with other internal teams to implement high-quality character animation. Help drive the adaptation of new technology, tools, and workflows with a forward-looking goal of delivering industry-leading animation. Produce in-game and cinematic animation content. So those are the job listings that have come out for NetherRealm. And I know I've hated on Mortal Kombat quite a lot, and I will probably continue to get pissed off at Mortal Kombat in the years to come, but I'm thinking that, you know, if they do a new Mortal Kombat game, if they do a new Injustice game, they've done so many 2D games at this point that I think it's maybe time to dive into the 3D. Now I think that there's not going to be an MK12 for maybe 3 to 4 years. I think Injustice 3 is next. I think that is the safe bet, or possibly a new IP. Maybe they're throwing us off with the job listings. Maybe there is something in the pipeline. Maybe that horror fighting game they've been talking about for a long time. Who knows? But I think that they've done enough 2D games. They've done 5 now. If they do another one, it will be 6 since they rebranded and become NRS. So I think it's maybe time to do a 3D game. I think it's time to dedicate that new animation and the Unreal Engine form, whatever you're going to do, to a 3D game. Make something new. Be innovative. Like since the PS3, since the PS4, we've had 2D fighting games for NRS. I think it's time to have a little change. I think it would be fantastic to have a 3D Injustice game. And the other thing is, whilst I enjoy the animation and the cutscenes in Mortal Kombat, the gameplay has always been the issue for me. And I think whoever is the lead designer, I have my suspicions that it's Stephanie, 16-bit. If it is 16-bit in charge, I personally think, and I hate to say this, but I feel like 16-bit has a vendetta against rushdown characters, and I think that they are just way too into the zoning characters. And I've heard 16-bit make comments over the years about zoning and rushdown characters, and just 16-bit's design philosophy, if it is them at the forefront of Mortal Kombat and designing the characters, I think they are the one that are sending Mortal Kombat down the shitter. None of us like this zoning nonsense, this unclashable fireball crap that's going on, and I feel like she is really the one that is the proponent for this nonsense. So yeah, the animation is always going to look clean in Mortal Kombat, I know that. Or at least the animation in the cutscenes. They need to work on a bit of the janky animations in game. I know the game is always going to be presented well. I know it's always going to have good marketing, but for the love of God, whoever is in charge of the gameplay, whoever is in charge of balancing, please use your head. If it's you, Stephanie, if you ever hear this video, please listen to the consumers. Maybe get in some veterans of the fighting game scene. I know you probably like to think that you are one yourself, but I'm talking about people like Sonic Fox. I'm talking people like maybe Justin Wong. I'm talking about people like Chris G. I'm talking about people that have been playing NRS titles and other fighting games to a high level for a long time, because every single time you release one of your fighting games, it appears good on day one. Everyone's hype, you know, there's blood and gore everywhere, and then it really breaks down to the nitty gritty of Mortal Kombat, and it just becomes this stupid mess of a fighting game that no one can really wrap their head around how it was designed. If you like Mortal Kombat 11, by all means support it, but if you think there's no issues with it, I really don't know what to say to you really. So if there is someone that is specifically balancing the characters, or like is the direction or the lead for the way the games are going, please have people test your games before you release them, because all these day 1 and day 2 patches are annoying. I understand not everything is going to be good on day 1. Let people play your games. Don't worry about people complaining saying, oh, so and so has got a head start. That fizzles out very quickly. People are very quick to catch on these days. We do not live in the age where people can't catch up. It just doesn't happen anymore. Sonic Fox may be the most dominant force in the scene, but other people can compete to a very high level. So have people that understand fighting games come in and test your games. Put out job listings for those, because I want to be able to enjoy a Mortal Kombat game past the first week, and it's been very difficult lately. But I didn't want to get this into too much of a rant. I know I'm going to go off one in a minute ranting about Mortal Kombat, but I just wanted to show you guys that there probably is something in the pipelines. It's more than likely Injustice 3. I'd like to see them take a radical step with Injustice 3 and do something new and do something different with regards to it being 3D, but time will tell. Anyways guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, what game is coming. Let me know what you think if they've got a brand new IP on the way. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you next time. Peace.